Hi there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and today we are looking at a 2009 BMW Z4, this one here, a right-hand drive one, bought from auction here in Japan for export over to Canada, my fair country. 57,400 kilometers is fairly low. The condition all the way around is pretty good. Now here in Japan you can get right-hand drive and left-hand drive of a lot of vehicles. You'll usually pay a little bit more for the left-hand drive ones though. So if you're looking at German vehicles like this one in right-hand drive, you can probably save, depending on the car, between $1,000 and a few $1,000s. Switch the engine off for now. Take the key out. Okay, and it's a 2.2 liter inline 6-cylinder. And gotta love that BMW stayed with the inline 6-cylinder even for their smaller displacement engines like this one. This 6-cylinder, inline 6-cylinder is a very unique feeling engine. Not very many manufacturers make them. In fact, at this time here, I believe it was just BMW. And now we're seeing Mercedes-Benz get back into their inline 6s, and I really wish Toyota would too, because they make some of the greatest inline 6-cylinders that we've seen. And I know if they started making them again, people would really, really like them. Okay, so there's nothing really that I could point out that would be wrong with this. The coolant looks fine. I can't check the oil because this generation you get no dipstick. Nice of you, BMW. Very, very long front hood on these. It gives it a very unique look and styling. And then everything is very well engineered in the chassis department. You get a couple of struts that go from the firewall to the suspension tops. And then I don't know, whenever I drive a BMW, I feel that's a good car, especially around this era when BMW started to really improve compared to everybody else. Okay, let's close the hood. This one is an automatic transmission, and I don't think that you could actually get this with a manual transmission unless there was an M Roadster version, which unfortunately I can't remember if they made an M Roadster version of this. I know that they did for the Z3 and the first generation Z4. I just don't know if this one ever got one. Look at that though. Look at how far back your cockpit is compared to the front end of it. It's like cars from the past. I love it a lot. Oh yeah, and in case you don't know, this is an open top convertible with hardtop. And so this all folds up into the trunk, which is really remarkable to think of the engineering that goes into doing something like that in such a otherwise small car. Pretty cool. Now, we don't open up the hood unless you ask us, or the roof unless you ask us to, just, there's a risk of it opening and not closing with any car, really. And so we don't open them unless you request it, and then we can check it if you want. Otherwise, we just ship the cars like this. Okay, it's a 2009 Z4 S-Drive 2.3i. I'm sorry, it's a 2.5 liter. I don't know where I got the 2.2 liter from. That's weird. Okay, 2.5 liter. Auction rated 4, interior B, power steering, power windows, airbag, and leather. Original navy blue paint. Sales points are purchased from user. Original Navi. Toll collection box. Push start. Leather seats. And then the report here says seat wrinkled. Steering wheel wear. Wheels have various scratches on them. Small scratches, small dents. And roof has some peeling paint, or some cracking paint. Okay, paint cracks here. Windshield rock chip, A1, AU1, A1. If those don't make sense to you, our website explains all of that. The body on this is very close to perfect. The roof has some cracks. There's a little bit of a gasket that comes out in another area. And then one thing that's fairly major that was missed on this is the monitor, your control panel monitor on the dashboard. The finish on it is all cracked. Now, we don't know if this is the case, but possibly the monitor was in the down position and just hadn't been checked. Here you can see the monitor is in the down position, and that'll pop up. And I'll show you how bad that is when we go into the car. I'll come back to the interior in a second, but let's do a once around of the car so you can see it from all different angles. The cars come into us, I take pictures and videos of them, the best pictures and videos that I can, and then we send the cars off. Unfortunately, they are dirty when they come in, and we don't have a chance to wash them because there's no washing facility here. The cars are all washed before they go over to Canada as a regulation for importing, so that's not going to be an issue, but we don't get a chance to see them because they're washed literally the day before loading to make sure that they don't gather too much dust or anything. Canada used to have a problem with importing cars that weren't clean, but I haven't heard of any issues recently. But if the car is denied, you have to ship it back to Japan. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, third generation. And this is maybe my first of this generation, because now that they're 15 years old, they're finally legal for Canada. Okay, so you get a more aggressive front end than either of the first two generations. The grille is a little bit more, 3D or molded styling. Front end has blank off plates here to make sure that your aero is good. Proper size intake. I really feel like BMW knows their stuff when it comes to the performance. Like everything's going to be a little bit overbuilt. Electronics, I don't know, BMW, you need to maybe check into who's doing your electronics for you. Just like Volkswagen and Mercedes and all other German manufacturers, electronics are the weak part. The engineering is excellent. The repair of it can be a pain in the butt because it seems like the engineers don't really care too much whether it's easy to repair or not. Or maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist and I think that perhaps things are difficult to repair on purpose so that, repair of it can be profitable. Who knows? Well, we've already talked about that. We've already gone once around it. I want to show you this one here, the paint cracks. So it's on the roof here. So right next to here and a little bit in this area, you'll see paint cracks. And it might be a little bit hard to see because of how the camera focuses on things. But yeah, seems like the paint, this panel for the roof should be repainted. This one here has a little bit too in this area. So I'd repaint this one as well. They are not attached to anything else. You can just paint the two panels without having to worry about blending paint anywhere, which is good to see. And yeah, this is a cool looking car. I don't spend too much time thinking about these cars, but I do like them. And anytime I see the new Z4, the one that's basically the same as the Supra, I think, wow, that is so much better looking in my opinion than the Supra is. Okay, so wheels are NK wheels, and it says here, made in Japan, RS05RR by NK. Tires are a little bit stretched, and so it's a fairly aggressive wheel. And then there's some areas where they're scratched. They're actually fairly scratched, which is a bit of a shame, but the wheel as a whole has a great look on the car. I think a lot of people would agree. It might look better if the car were a little bit lower, but then now it's your car. You can pick what you do with it. Get some lowering suspension if that's what you want. And because of the long hood and the set back cockpit, when you lower it, it gives it a very unique, low slung, wide look. Pretty cool. I feel like the car's maybe a little bit underappreciated. Okay, so let's go into the trunk first before we go into the interior. To get to the trunk, we got to press that trunk button, but I can't remember where it is. I know there is a trunk release button, but I just pressed it. Oh, there it is. Okay, open that up. I'll show you a couple of little things. Here's the gasket piece that I was talking about. It's kind of broken off. And on the trunk here, right below the roundel, there's a little scratch there. And I'll show you this better here. So this piece here has peeled itself off and would need to be replaced. It's the same piece up until... oh, other pieces of it have peeled off too. Yeah. Okay, so the trunk can be used as a trunk when the roof is up. When the roof is down, you would put this down like that, otherwise it won't let you put the roof down. And then you can put baggage anywhere underneath it. Very similar to the Mercedes-Benz SL or SLK. They have the same kind of contraption. So you still get some luggage room when the roof is in the down position. It's limited though. You'll get more when the roof is up. Pretty clever. Okay, close this off. Now into the interior. Let's just move that. So the door card has a few scratches in the door handle piece here. The buttons otherwise work fine, including the power folding mirrors. And then the door handle on the other side has some cracks. I'll show you that in a sec. The interior is quite nice. BMW interiors have come a little bit past this era, but I still do think that it looks good and classy, especially when it's in fairly good condition. You can see the seat here is good, with just a little bit of discoloration in this bolster, but no tears or anything. Steering wheel has just a teeny bit of wear on it. Carpets are nice and clean. Controls are all really easy with a separate climate zone for left and right. CD player here, place for your key, push start, heated seats with 3 different levels, roof opening button. No bad smells inside here. Looks like it's never been smoked in. And controls here to control that, which I'll show you now. And as soon as you turn on the car, that's going to open. And the screen has a bad screen on it. That flickering that you see is not actually there. That's just a refresh thing with the camera's frame rate. Okay. So if you don't like seeing that, you can just put it down. And then AC has auto or manual, of course. This plastic that looks like aluminum is quite nice, and it's not squeaky or anything like a lot of cars are. That said, the roof will be a little squeaky, just naturally. That's how they are when you go around corners and things. You get a little bit of a squeaky sound. Nice and clean in there. Your iPhone holder, right here, you can slot your iPhone in. I'll show you how that works. Shoot. Cool, right? E-brake is electronic. You get a little, oh, somebody put a pad on here for extra padding, I suppose. A couple of cup holders, which is a little bit weird that you have to, oh, you know what? I'll put this in. Boop. A little bit weird that you have to open this in order to get access to your cup holders, but such is life. Looks like an aftermarket cigarette lighter adapter for something. A little tray in the back here. A ski through. Who goes skiing with this car? Huh. And a little deflector for the wind. Now I want to go skiing with this. I think it'd be so fun to go skiing in a sports car. I mean, not skiing in the sports car, but drive the sports car to the ski mountain. This handle. Little cracks in it. So, should be replaced, I would think. Especially with a car this clean and this low of mileage. Radar detector too. Like when the car is clean and low mileage, any little thing that's not really a problem becomes a bigger problem because it stands out against everything else. Okay, I'm pretty much done looking at this one. As usual, if you have any questions, please let us know. We have an email address on our website. There's a link to our website in the description. It's all really easy to do, so send us something and we'll send you something back. Or you can call us, or you can message us, or you can send a comment, whatever you want. Anyway, that's all for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.